Hello everyone, welcome to our next episode on Savaj Outdoors. This time we are going to teach you one very important hack that can help you while you are camping or outdoors. So you plan to go out camping and you are carrying your torch and stuff for lighting. Now there are a couple of options when it comes to lighting. First is a very small flashlight like this one. I remove the filter like this one. It's a very small single, it runs on a single AA battery. And then you have something more powerful. This one has different modes, like it has a high, it has a strobe, SOS. Okay, this is medium, this is low. So this one has this modes. It runs on 18650 battery, a single 18650 battery. And this is a lantern. I got it from someone, and it runs on four AA size batteries. Not very, it does not have a very focused beam, but yeah, it's good enough to light your tent or something like that. And this one is a big daddy. This is a bright light. Beam goes out really far. It does not have multiple modes, but beam goes out really far. Okay, so you have gone out camping or outdoors and you need a light source closer to you, not a flashlight which can throw light at a good distance, but let's say for example you are sitting with your friends and you need to find something, or you just need some light source that makes you feel comfortable and safe. So of course fire is one source, but you don't want to start a fire, or the weather is warm. So in that case you can use the hacks we are going to show you today, and it would be very useful. In fact, this idea came to my mind because we are going to have a barbecue at our farm on New Year's Eve, and I was worried about the light source because there is no electric connection over there. So that gave me an idea, why not share a hack with all of you, and here I am. I'll be sharing it with you shortly. So here I have some contraptions. It might look weird to you, but later on in the video I'll demonstrate you. Once it gets dark around here, I'll do a demonstration of how well or how bad this works. So we'll keep this aside. So in order to get our hack going on, all you need is a bottle of bottles are available in different shapes and sizes. You can select any one of them. Alright, I forgot to peel off the stickers, so I'll do that in a bit. Okay, so now bottles, we put them aside. The next thing you need is a marker pen, then some thread, a super glue to fix this thing. Yes, you require a multi-tool, or even a normal life works well. So choice is really yours. Alright, so now we have cut a thread around say 10 to 12 inches in length, and now we take this bigger bottle. So when selecting a bottle, make sure the diameter fits in. So you'll require two parts to make your lantern work. One part will be the bottom will be with this one, which will contain the water, and the top part will be from a smaller bottle. So make sure smallest diameter of this one is a little bigger than this one, so that it works well. Now for our video, I am selecting this flashlight as my source of light. So first thing I need to do is I need to measure the diameter of this torch. Okay, there we go. Okay, make sure that you try to be as precise as possible, because you can err on the lower diameter. That's not a problem, because if the diameter you measure, it turns out to be bigger than the actual diameter, then your torch will have a dip in water. So try to avoid that. So here I'm marking it. Okay, as per the diameter, I'll just take it maybe 2 mm less than what it is to tide over any inconsistencies. Okay, that's done. Now, okay, now we need to keep this aside. This one here for. Alright, so I'll just mark this position. Okay. Alright, so the position has been marked. Now I'll just try to run this line across and make sure it meets the point at the other end. Okay, there we go. Can you see this marking? It's about here. So it goes across this bottle. Okay, now we are going to cut it. And for cutting, I'll use my multi-tool. And this is, be careful while you're cutting, make sure you don't cut your fingers. Okay, so now I'll start cutting it. Okay, finally we have a cut, so just check if this passes through this. No, it doesn't. That's what we wanted, right? Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to cut some of the rough edges, and again we need to make sure that the diameter at play over here is right size. So try to work in try to make smaller cuts so that it's better and it is able to hold your flesh light. So let's check the size again. Okay, perfect. It's sitting perfect. Now next thing we need to do is we need to mark it on the bigger bottle what size we will need. Okay, alright, so here you see this is how I'll mark it. I'm going to mark it for size. It's moving a bit, but it's okay, it gives you a general idea. And maybe some of you are better craftsmen than me, because I'm not so good at these things. Okay, so now we put this aside. Now what we do is, see, this is the line we need to cut over here. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll just put another line below it, because that's actually where we are going to cut. Reason being, this thing has to slide inside a bit, so maybe half an inch below this line. Okay, now this is not a very accurate method of lining it up, but works for me. Okay, this is how it should look like. Are you able to see? Basically there are two lines, half an inch apart. Okay, so you need to cut along the line 2, that is the bottom line. Okay, let's start cutting this one. Be careful not to cut your fingers. Alright, so it's cut. Okay, I'll just pop it out. Okay, it's cut. Now if you have sanding paper, you can actually file it a bit. So I'll be using a normal file, although edges are not that rough. It has been good cut by my standards. So now we go to the next phase. That is, we put this bottle in here. Okay, so yeah, it's fitting in, but I like a deeper cut, so I just make a quick cut, and it shave off around, say, 1/4 of an inch. And just mark it so that I know where to put the cuts. Of course, if you get it right at first go, there is no need to do this, but in our case it's a little higher than it should have been, so I'll just make some marks. I don't have heavy pair of scissors with me right now, or I would have just cut it through. So I need to make cuts and then cut it further. Okay, so now I'm back. I have cut it to the right side and now it fits, and you can see 2 bottles almost. This bottle goes almost an inch inside this one, so it's good to go. Alright, so now we have 2 bottles with us. We'll just cut this one to make space to insert the LED. So okay, now we get on with cutting this bottle. Okay, it's ready now. Alright, so I have cut it along this dotted thing. It's fine, it's no problem. So now all you need to do is put super glue on. Okay, so now we are putting super glue on this thing. We are putting it on the edge because this super glue requires you to put it on both the surfaces. And yes, so the surface is done. So we'll just measure what surface is this and we'll put it on it as well. Okay. Craft has not been my strongest skill, so alright, little messy, but yeah, should serve our purpose. So you need to hold it down for a bit, so I'll be doing just that. Alright, so now this is glued on very well. It's not going to come off that easy unless you really want to break it. Now we move on to the next one. This is a bigger bottle. You can't hang it somewhere because it was a 1.5 liter bottle. It still can contain almost 1.25 liters. So hanging it becomes little problematic. This would be heavy, and this has a weight of 200-300 grams. So it might fall off and ruin your flashlight. We don't want to do that. So we'll be keeping this as a lantern, or you can keep it in your room or anything like that. So we'll keep it away, and we'll go for a smaller bottle, this one, and we have another bottle, again a 1 liter bottle. So these are the stickers. Don't want to give away the brand. So now we'll be using this. This would be kind of lantern that can be hanged somewhere. Alright. Okay, so here we have our thread and we go ahead and measure it. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we'll go ahead and alright, let's cut it. Alright, so we have cut here. Okay, now we are going to measure this one, okay, where it comes in, just like the earlier one. So now we put a line on it. This is just our guiding line. The actual line will be a little lower than this, as we did earlier. Okay, so now we have our guiding lines, and we'll go 1/2 inch below it and start making a cutting line. Alright, we have a cutting line now. Now let's go ahead and cut it. Okay, but I didn't cut it in right shape. I just need to rework that, but before that I'll just check Alright. Okay, so now we have cut it, and it fits in just like the other one. It goes in say an inch inside. So we are just going to glue it, but before we go ahead and glue it, we need, remember we wanted to hang this one, so we'll just put some holes and put some cord through it, but it can hold good weight, so we are going to use this. Okay, so for thread we are going to make 4 points here for hanging. You can make 4 points equidistant at 90 degrees to each other. For ease of use, I'll start working with opposite points. It needs not be very accurate, but so okay now. Okay, so we have 4 points now, as you can see. Right about here, if you can't see it, here and here and here. Okay, so we are going to punch some holes in it using a punch liberty tool, or you can use anything, you can use a needle or whatever, but I have a punch in here and I'm going to use that, this one. Okay, so we are going to punch some holes in this one. Okay, just right sizing it. Okay, so holes are done. Alright. Okay, so now we are going to thread this through, and yeah, we put it from inside, we're towards outside, again inside. So this basically imparts certain strength and reinforcement to the bottle. So, and later on we'll be using this one for hanging. So you can select the size you want for hanging, and based on that you can do it. Alright, so now this is going to be the end of it, so we'll just tie it with this one. Let me cut it first. Okay, that goes out. So now we just tie this in. Now what we have here is a dangler. See, now it can be suspended. Good to go. So now where's the bottle? Okay, we need this, but we need to cut it in because this whole thing is not going to fit inside. So we'll cut it till here. Okay, so let me quickly cut through it first. Off late I just thought of one trick for making lines easier. Take your glass, select the height. We need around this much, so yeah, and just rotate it. Yeah, this should, yeah, much better than the last time. So let me cut through it. Yes. That's good. I just had a thought, why not give my trusty old vodka a chance to cut through this thing. Alright. Okay, it's good to go. Let me give it better finishing with scissors. Okay, so we are going to glue this now. Let's not worry about the rope right now. So let me glue it and I'll be back. Okay, we are gluing this one. Alright, so this part's done. Now put some glue on here. Rubbed in and oops. Okay, so we press this tightly for a bit and okay, we wait. Okay, so it's done, it's glued in, and we have the suspension threads in place. Little rough, but gets you're going. You can hang it anywhere, you see. So now let's do a demonstration of how it actually works. Alright, so here I am to give you the demo. As you can see, it's pretty dark out here. So now let's try our lanterns. See, this is the prototype hat that I had made, and yeah, it's giving out good light. Now let's try the one that we made today. Pretty interesting, huh? Yep. And there's the bigger one. You can see it's giving out really good light. And then here's the one that we made today. Interesting green color. Alright, so I hope you put it to good use, because it's your love and appreciation that keeps us going, and we really love to hear from you. So keep sending in your love. And I would like to share one more thing. Now we have our own website, that is www.savage-outdoors.com, and we have shared the link below. You can go through it. Of course, it's a work under progress, but we are trying to wrap it up as soon as possible. And we have tried to make it more interactive by including discussion forums. You can post your queries over there, and me or Yograj will try to answer that as soon as possible. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Vishal from Savaj Outdoors signing off. Bye bye.